Not you too. Can't you people just leave me alone? I come out here to think, and all I get is suspicious glances and unfounded accusations. You know I'm a baker, correct? So who else could be the Sweetroll killer? Oh, imbeciles! Despite the threats and the loss of business, I did receive one of those menacing Sweetrolls. The note inside even predicts my impending death. Would it do any good? From what I've heard, everyone who receives these prognosticating pastries dies, despite the explicit warnings. Who am I to suppose I can avoid the fate that so clearly awaits me? I met some of them when they came to accuse me of sending the threatening baked goods, as if I'm the only baker capable of making Sweetrolls in the entire Gold Coast. They ran, they hid, they avoided others, and then they died. Each and every one. No, I have work to do and my life to live. At least as long as I'm able. People enjoy my cakes and pies. I'd never deny them such delicious treats. But why do the predictions of a tasty bun concern you, I wonder? Seriously? Well, good luck with that. I truly wish you well. All the same, I'll continue with my chosen course of action, seeing as how no one has been able to stop the Sweetroll killer so far. Unless, of course, you have a better suggestion. You're suggesting I challenge fate? Alter my comfortable schedule in hopes of avoiding certain death? I suppose that makes a modicum amount of sense. Anvil is nice this time of year, and the pirates do appreciate a good Sweetroll.
I love wandering the merchant stalls, examining all the goods that we helped bring to the Gold Coast. I get a certain amount of pleasure from experiencing the result of all my paperwork and negotiations. How did you know about that? I didn't tell anyone. Of course, it was delivered to the trading company building, so I suppose someone could have seen it arrive. Yes, I received a Sweetroll. Came in a small box. At first, I thought nothing of it. I took a bite and found a slip of paper inside, with a message, but it didn't sound very threatening. Not until you mentioned it. Tomorrow is your last day in Kvatch. I just assumed I'd be going to Anvil in a few days, for business. What? You really think so? I've heard of the Sweetroll killer, sure, but why would he target me? I think I'd better just keep doing what I've been doing. Remain in the market, near all the merchants and their customers. That's safe, right? But there was that wood elf merchant we worked with. I found him floating in a river not far from here. He got a Sweetroll with a message. He kept to his daily routine despite the warning. Then, one day, he never showed up at the trading company. Raymond? I'd rather not discuss my relationship with Raymond if you don't mind. He's everything I abhor about a certain class of trader. Greedy, self-indulgent, and interested in nothing more than increasing his hoard of gold. You were? Well, that makes me feel so much better. If anyone can stop the Sweetroll killer, I imagine it will be someone just like you. I'm going to finish my tour of the merchant stalls, unless you think that's unwise. That's excellent advice, friend. I'll stay in the market until closing time, and then I'll head over to the Gold Coast Trading Company building. That place is built like a fort.
Oh, hello. Careful where you step. I just planted some seeds, and I'd hate to have to start all over again. But you didn't come over to hear me complain. What can I help you with today? A Sweetroll? How do you know about... Yes, I received a Sweetroll, just as my husband did before he disappeared. What interests are my troubles to you, I wonder? Really? Did Riemann hire you? How kind. Though why he cares now when he couldn't have been bothered after my husband vanished makes me curious as to his true intentions. Perhaps fate will take a different course. Certainly I didn't predict your involvement. I thought I did. Well, no. I don't know him that well. I mean, I know people like him. Liars and cheaters who use people and take advantage of their giving nature. So Riemann hired you to stop the murderer. I find that to be very interesting. My husband, he received one of those Sweetrolls with the message inside, just like I did. The dire prediction frightened him, I can tell you that. He gathered weapons and locked himself in his study. But he still disappeared without a trace. No, not even a drop of blood to remember him by. But my husband was just one of a series of murders linked to this Sweetroll killer. It's been going on for months and months, and now Riemann suddenly cares? I wonder why he's had a change of heart. No. The others who received the Sweetrolls, I'm sure they need more help than me. I've got a house in Anvil. I can hide there until you catch the murderer. Just watch out for that Riemann. His own interests are more important to him than anything else.
Raz knew you would find us. It's not much, but it's private. The enchanter is an old friend. I helped her out once when an enchantment went bad. Made most of Raz's fur fall out. Very embarrassing. Still, now we get this comfy meeting place. Raz has seen these types of killings before. A victim receives a Sweetroll that contains a prediction of impending doom, then is murdered a few days later. The murderer killed several of the Queen's advisors and then escaped. Made Raz look bad. So much doubt! Haven't you figured out that Raz is perfect yet? But yes, I fear we're dealing with the same monster. Luckily, my apprentice received a Sweetroll. That means we can set a trap. There's just one problem. Alright, probably more than one. But what concerns Raz is the network of messengers the killer is using to deliver his gifts. They've placed notes in the oddest locations. Raz fears these actions indicate the killer plans to strike, and soon. We'll locate a messenger and figure out what they've been placing around town. Maybe even get them to lead us right to the killer. Meet Raz outside and we'll track them together. What about her? Oh, Raz sees what you're getting at. She'll stay here and hopefully not wind up murdered. She's still in training, and we haven't gotten to the use of weapons yet. Last time I gave her a dagger, she almost put out her eye. Raz is glad you agree. Weapon safety is very important, yes? Now, let's go track down the killer.
You're going to just leave me here? You do know I've been targeted for death, right?
I heard Bloodthorn assassins tried to kill King Casimir.
Raz forgot how much he hates working out in the Raz saw one of the suspicious messengers near the hedge maze to the southwest. Why this city has a hedge maze is a mystery for another day, yes?
Pardon me, excuse me, coming through.
What a wonderful place to hide something. Look for a statue or something. Anything that could serve as a marker for a hiding place. A coded message? Raz hates riddles. You'll figure it out, yes?
It's all right to be angry, you faithful of Akatosh.
These notes should lead us to whoever commissioned this research. There must be a clue. Read them again.
hunger. Could use a break.
You really shouldn't break into a house that someone has already broken into. Where's your sense of honor, Razandar?
Of course. The beautiful darkness. Wait. Is Naryu the Sweetroll killer? Raz would be sad to have to kill you now.
Well, I am a killer, but I'm not the killer. And what's that one doing here? This has nothing to do with the Brotherhood.
Raz is confused. You better talk to Naryu so we can figure out what's going on here.
If you and your Brotherhood comrades sent me that Sweetroll, I'm truly disappointed. I thought you'd realize by now that I don't take kindly to threats. Besides, it's hard enough to look good in tight leather without being tempted by tasty pastries. No one knew I was on the Gold Coast. No one except you. Suddenly, someone delivers a Sweetroll with my name on it and a note predicting my untimely demise. It looks like you betrayed me. Give me a reason not to run you through. You realize that our organizations don't exactly play nice with one another, right? The moment I leave myself open, they'll put a blade in my neck. You joined the Brotherhood. You have to see how that makes me question our relationship. I want to believe you, I really do. But until I figure out what you're really up to, I'll keep my feelings to myself. If you really care, your actions will speak louder than your words anyway. Besides, I still want to know what you're doing here. So you followed my messengers and found me instead? Ever since I received the threatening Sweetroll, I've been looking into other targets, trying to figure out who knows me and why they want to kill me. Well, why they want to kill me this time. Everyone who received one of the menacing Sweetrolls is traveling to Anvil for one reason or another. Seems to me, if the killer is smart, that's where he'll make his move. As a matter of fact, I'm headed there now. No one threatens me and lives. Just don't get in my way. I'm still trying to figure out your game in all this. But we've worked well together in the past. Might as well take advantage of that. I'll confer with Raz to make sure he and I see eye to eye, and we'll meet you in Anvil.
You have returned. Arke guided you well.
Nothing.
What news have you of Exilus? As promised, your reward. You have done a great service for Arke, and for me. The souls of my brave friends may rest easy now, knowing their sacrifice did not go unanswered. These pauldrons will find a place of honor in the Temple of Arke.
That's not helpful. And again.
If you stare at that statue any harder, Raz, your eyes will pop right out of your head.
Raz is just admiring the beautiful mermaid. It is so large and shapely.
Is the cat always like this?
Actually, this is one of Raz's good days.
Good. We're all here. Now the real fun can start. Raz and I have been discussing our options. At least when I can get him to take his eyes off the mermaid. I'm eager to see who the murderer really is. Mostly so I can kill him. Already have one hero. Raz wants the Wood Elf and I to stick close so he can watch out for us. We'll gather the rest of the targets and get them to safety. I'd prefer to let the killer find me and finish this, but the cat is very insistent. I don't trust Riemann. He hired you to look into all this, but I think he knows more than he told you. Go to the Gold Coast Trading Company and find out whatever you can about this fool. He makes my ears tingle, which tells me he's hiding something. Never met the man, but Raz filled me in on the details. I had my eyes and ears around town do some digging. They confirmed that Riemann visited with all the targets right before he hired you. My guess is he never told you about a lot of things. That's why I want you to go and take a closer look at him. Get rough if you have to, but make sure he tells you everything he knows. He might have the key we need to stop the Sweetroll killer. Oh, I'd enjoy a little rough play with you, hero. But for now, I want you to go learn more about Riemann, preferably while holding a blade to his throat. He met with all of the Sweetroll killer's targets except me. And I want to know why that is. I'm desperate.
This is your fault. I never should have hired you. What was I thinking? Because of you, the killer decided that I was a threat. Sent my own Sweetroll with a message inside. Then she cut me with her poison blade. Now I'm dying because of you. I found her on one of my trading expeditions. She talked of visions, how they helped her shape the ripples of fate. Crazy talk, but useful. You understand? I could point her at a target, like an arrow, set her loose and watch them die. Not anymore, obviously. You mentioned my name. Shouldn't have done that. She knows I betrayed her. Knows I sent you to eliminate her. Hid my involvement in all this. I knew it the moment I arrived in Anvil and saw the Sweetroll waiting for me. You met her. The gardener. She has a farmhouse, southeast of Anvil. But she won't be there for long. I'm dying, and it's your fault. I hope you realize I'm not going to pay you for this.
Just keep at it, I suppose.
Raz must happily report that we found almost all of the killer's targets. The only one still missing is the Dark Elf Gardener. Perhaps this villain isn't as formidable as Raz had feared. But you have other news for us, yes? Really? Raz is impressed. Did you threaten and cajole? It's Riemann, correct? We can go to the inn, get drunk, and put this sorry affair behind us. Wait. Riemann isn't a her. The gardener? No wonder Raz couldn't find her. But we're wasting time. If you know where the murderer is, we should get moving. Let's go dunk the Sweetroll killer in the bitter milk of justice. Raz has made a deal with the Anvil Guard. It took more gold than Raz expected, but these people will be taken care of while we're away.
I was always a beggar.
Now I know what my contracts must feel like, having a constant target floating above their heads. I heard what you told Roz. Let's get to that farm and put an end to the Sweetroll killer.